welcome to my channel. Let me draw Dreaming Consciousness. This is my first episode in English. Normally I'm talking in German, and I'm not used to talking English, so I hope it will work out. Anyways, my channel is not yet another channel about lucid dreaming tutorials, but it will be about lucid dreaming. And if you're interested in lucid dreaming or in dreaming and in consciousness in general, and if you're interested in getting some deeper insights into that, let's also add sleep on the list, because other sleep related topics might be also interesting for me. If you're wanting to gain more deeper insight, not just the techniques, because there are so many tutorials of techniques, we don't have to get another video about that. So I will talk about some deeper stuff. And what I really think is lying behind all these endeavors or all these topics is the core principles that interest me is on the one hand freedom, because that's what really people are searching inside of their lucid dreams. They are searching and they are also finding it, that great feeling of freedom by just being in a world which they can manipulate by their own liking. And they can do everything they want to. There are no consequences, and they can explore and experiment and have fun. And that's really, that kind of freedom, I think, is the core of lucid dreaming and of what is interesting in this topic. But also, it's not only possible to have that in your lucid dream, but also in your waking life. And I know it may be not the same, because you can fly in your waking life, or not yet. Maybe we haven't figured out how to do that, or maybe it's just not possible. But you can do other stuff. You can gain more freedom of your waking life as well. And I don't like that color. And I will just talk about how maybe we get more grasp of that freedom in your life, and to get more grasp of how our consciousness works and how we can use it to gain more freedom in our lives. So that's really the core part of my channel. And by doing so, we also have let's take me color, part of gaining insights. It's another color, maybe. Anyways, that's the second big topic which people are interested in by having lucid dreams. They wanna find out something about themselves. They wanna, for example, change and stop nightmares, and they wanna just know who they are and so on. And that's really another big topic which is related to lucid dreaming and to dreaming, of course, also, because if you're gaining insights into your dreams, that's also possible, and it will be cool. And also insights in your consciousness in general, because you don't have to dream to get insights, of course. And I think these two topics are really related to each other. And all I do in my channel is to show how this interconnection is working. Because if you're gaining insights about your feelings and about how your subconscious is working, you will also, for example, in a lucid dream, you will also understand how you yourself are creating this world around you. And by really getting a feel of it, not only by understanding it intellectually, but by gaining a feel of it, you really gain control of the dream. And that's not just to say about a dream. You can do that in your waking life as well, because if you understand, for example, why you're having fear of something, and not just intellectually understanding it, but really getting a feel of how this fear is being produced by yourself, you will get a possibility to change that. You will get a possibility to break out of your cage. And so insights will help you get more freedom in your life and in your dreams. And also, if you gain it in your dreams, of course you can use that in your life, and the other way around. But on the other hand, if you have more freedom, for example, if you're in your lucid dream and you know you can do everything you want to, of course you then are being able to do stuff you wouldn't do normally. So you're having the courage, or you just can try out things, and you know there will be no harm, really. Even if you're scared and doing some confronting of your fears and of situations you just don't like, or if you're just wanting to do stuff which comes to your mind, like following just your emotions, your impulses, then you can do that. And by doing so, you of course also will gain insight, because it's just simpler to confront things and to find things out, and to find out what really happens if you do things when you're having the freedom to do it. And to talk about freedom is also, you can also do that in waking life, of course. For example, if you're having the resources, if you're having the time or the money, or the social resources, so to speak, the security that people won't harm you, or that people will stay behind you, then you will having more possibilities just to find out things about yourself. You will be able to do therapy, for example, or you will be able to travel around the world, and by that you can gain more insights, of course. So it's an interconnected topic, and if you improve the one thing, you can improve the other thing as well. And that's really the cool part of all these lucid dreaming related and meditation and dreaming related topics. So that's what I want to achieve, and I hope some of you will at least be interested in one of these topics, Insights of Freedom. And if so, this channel is meant for you. So, and why do I call this dreaming consciousness? Let's pick up another color. Well, some short break of talking won't be bad. Oh, that's the wrong color. Let's change that. No, better. Because normally people say, if you're entering a dream, and if you're getting lucid in the dream, consciousness. If you're getting lucid inside of a dream, then, well, you're entering your waking consciousness into the dream. So you're having your consciousness of your waking life, and you're adding it to the dream. So you're now conscious inside of the dream. But that's not the whole story, really. If you're knowing lucid dreams, you might already know just that you're being conscious inside of a dream does not mean you're conscious of everything. The most part of the dream world is really still being created by your subconscious. And this subconscious is kinda different from your waking conscious. You're not, by getting lucid, just being able to control everything. And maybe you experience that as well. If you're trying to control things inside a lucid dream, there might be some blocks. Something might be blocking you, or something might be obstructing you, and mostly that's because of your subconscious is not being overall conscious inside of a lucid dream. So what I think is there is another part of yourself, or many parts maybe, which you could call the subconscious or unconscious also, and I'm calling it also the dreaming consciousness. That is to say, I mean by that your subconscious has some kind of own consciousness. It knows what it is doing. Maybe it's not an instance which is like a person, just one instance doing things, but maybe are different impulses in your subconscious, and they all working separately, but still there is a part of yourself inside of a dream, inside of a normal dream, which is knowing that it's a dream, and many parts which are knowing different stuff that you are consciously not knowing. So I would say this whole thing is merging together to a subconscious stream. And this stream of your mind, which is mostly not conscious to your waking consciousness, is for the most part really creating the world around you, and not only inside of a dream. And that's the really interesting and cool thing here. It's not only controlling your dream, but the most part of your life is being controlled by this inner stream. And you can try to suppress it, but you can't control it. It's not possible just to control it. And if you're suppressing it, if you're thinking you can rationally and consciously, with your waking consciousness, influence what you're doing, you might be wrong. Because so many things are just being decided by your subconscious before you're knowing even that you're consciously wanting to do those things. And this inner stream, you can follow that stream, you can find out what is your stream wanting. So for example, if you're looking at a normal dream when you're waking up, you have the dream story, and that dream story is following, is being conducted, or let's say conducted by that inner stream. You can see the inner impulses, the inner associations which lead to the cause of the events in a normal dream. And if you're gaining lucidity and just say, well, I'm stopping now everything what had happened and I will just fly around, stop everything, you can do that, but you might have experienced some trouble by that, because if you're just wanting to do what you consciously decided for your lucid dream to happen, then you will find out there will come blockades. And these blockades are the part of your inner stream. Your inner stream is, in a dream, there is some impulses, some desire to follow a certain story, or some certain some inner path, and you're just stopping that, and then you're not working with yourself, and there will come obstacles, or you just will wake up. And the same thing in waking life. If you're not following your stream, for example when doing art, you will end up just doing something won't be right, won't feel right, or just won't turn out the way it should. And if you're following that stream in your dream or in your waking life, I would say you're merging your conscious and your subconscious, your dreaming and your waking conscious. So, and that's the cool part that I wanna achieve, because even also in your waking life, or let's say that way, in the dream world, normally the dreaming conscious is very big and is doing all the stuff, and you have to add your waking conscious to it without disrupting the pre-existing dreaming conscious. So you have to work together with it, but you have to add normally your waking conscious, because that is normally missing inside of a dream. But inside of your waking world, you normally be consisting of mostly your waking consciousness, or you're just perceiving that mostly. As I said, your actions may be decided by your subconscious still, but what you're experiencing is mostly that what you might call waking consciousness. And this waking consciousness is missing the link to the dreaming consciousness. So when you're awake, you have to add the dreaming consciousness to get more insights and more control. And well, what I want to say is, it's all about merging these two parts of yourself, this subconscious or dreaming conscious and a waking consciousness. And merging it, you can, for example, merge it by doing arts. If you're starting to get into a feeling of flow where everything is just right and it's happening intuitively, you know it's not your normal state of consciousness, and it's really great. And you can merge these things, or you can do it by meditation, for example, just by activating other states of mind. But, well, also just by, well, let me take another color, by everything you do in your waking life, basically. And if you merge these two states of consciousness, that's the real point of what I'm wanting to say, and I have a little trouble to say it in English or to say it at all. But really, the big part, the basic part to achieve here is, in my opinion, to merge these two things and to gain then real insight and real freedom. Because now, if you merge these two, let us merge them. How can we merge them? Maybe with some magic color. If you're merging these two, you will really get connected inside of you. You will get a whole person. Because these two spheres of yourself, these two consciousness parts of yourself are some way being separate. And if you're merging them, you're getting in touch with your inner core and your intuition, but also not only your intuition, which is in a way blind, but also you can understand this intuition and you can really trust it. You can trust it and know what it is doing and why, and you can really understand yourself. So I think it's worth really trying to achieve that inner merging of these parts of yourself. Well, and that's at least what I want to do, and that's what this channel is about, really. But not only, I will talk about different topics like dream interpretation also, or just lucid dreaming aspects, different aspects of lucid dreaming, and meditation, for example, and so on. But I think what really is lying behind all of that is merging these parts together. And as you see, I'm drawing right now, and I'm drawing and talking in my videos. And this drawing is, to some extent, consciously, I'm trying to illustrate what I'm saying, but very often I tend to just draw without thinking about it and without controlling it. So it's an example of that dreaming consciousness, because I start getting automatic, and by getting automatic, I'm just activating that inner dreaming consciousness to take over, at least taking over the drawing part. But I'm not talking with a script, so also what I'm talking is a little intuitive. And yeah, it's really interesting to see myself drawing and to see what will come out of it, and how what I'm talking is influencing what I'm drawing. And I can perceive that consciously without interfering. And that's all what I mean. So now it's time to for the last part of my speech, or of my episode. Let's say, one part that I have to say about my channel still is, you might have noticed I'm exploring all these topics deeper, and I'm not interested in explaining techniques, because there are so many video tutorials right now explaining techniques, and it's maybe nice, but we don't need much more of that. And I think what we really need is more understanding of how things work, because every advanced lucid dreamer I know, or the most of them at least, don't follow techniques. They are, or meditation people, they don't follow techniques. They are maybe, or when they follow techniques, they are not just clinging to the strict recipe, but they are doing it like intuitively. And because they know, they have a feeling for how it works, and how it works is not just doing a script, but to have a feeling and to know the different parts and in the different situations, which is being necessary to do in different situations. And really, I want to get an understanding, and also give you an understanding of what are the different contexts of our lives, and the different actions that are influencing, let's say, our dreams and our consciousness. So I decided to find that out partly by conducting a survey. Let us write that into the middle of somewhere. It is a big survey which I am conducting together with Steve, another lucid dreamer of the German lucid dreaming community. And this survey is really about not only lucid dreams, but dreams in general, or sleep-related experiences, also sleep quality, for example, or other experiences you have inside of your dreams. And I wanna know not what techniques, but what actions and what factors, what contexts of your daily lives are influencing those things. So the survey is really big and huge, and it is asking for the different factors, and for example, let's say physical factors or social factors, or of course the psychological factors. Because I think all of these factors can influence our sleep, our consciousness, and so on in different ways. And it's not enough just to know what to do, how to perform a technique, but really we should know how to change your life, really, or what in your specific life would be sufficient to do to gain more insights, more freedom in your dreams and in your life. So this I want to find out, and I hope you will help me. And the thing is, the really interesting thing about this survey is it will be, when I am done conducting and evaluating the results, it will be published free for everyone on the internet to view the results and to use them for everyone's liking. It will be Creative Commons, so everyone can profit and benefit from it. And well, that's another reason I'm doing this video now in English. Well, the best reason is just because it is fun, and it's challenging, as I said. But another reason is we already got many German answers, but not so many English answers. And I think the English-speaking community of lucid dreamers, or the audience, just in general, English-speaking audience, is really bigger than the German one, and we can find out so much. And I'm just hoping to get more insights by that. And of course, not only the results will be interesting, but the questionnaire in itself might be interesting for you. Wow, yes, I zoomed in. I didn't want to do that, but I don't know how I did it. Anyways, conducting the survey, just filling out the questions, might be interesting because I think you can reflect on some stuff of your life by doing so, and that's interesting for me, at least. How can I zoom back? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you're having fun with the survey, and really make sure to have at least 1 hour time to complete it, but you can take breaks as long as you don't close the window. And the survey will be, well, down there in the description of the video. You just have to click on the link, and you can of course spread the link with other people if you already conducted it, or if you think others might be interested. Really, you should spread the link, and I hope we get more answers and more insights about how all these things work. But one thing I wanted to say, you don't have to have all these experiences already. You don't have to be a lucid dreamer. You don't have to have much dream recall and so on. You just have to be interested in that topic, really, to participate on that survey. That is all that is needed. There are no other requirements or restrictions. So, okay, that's all for now for the video, for this episode. I really hope I can zoom out someday. How did I zoom in? And I'm saying goodbye now. This is the last thing you saw. This is the middle of the video, just to remember what I did talk about. Yeah, I will do many other videos about these topics, like I said, lucid dreaming and consciousness in general, but the most focus is on freedom and gaining insights for your whole life and to understand things better. So, but I don't know when I will do the next English spoken videos, because yeah, I'm not doing this on a daily basis. I'm concentrating on doing really stuff which has really some content. So I'm not doing it all that often, but we will see. And I am also curious on what your reactions might be. Or so. Until then, I'm wishing you pleasant dreams, and of course also lucid dreams, and much lucidity in your waking life. Goodbye.